Hi guys, video number 2 this afternoon. I am desperately trying to keep up with content and I have been so busy, I apologize. Video number 2 for this afternoon, as you can tell by the title, I don't have to keep it a secret, we are going to talk about this. This is a Marfione custom. Now I did talk, some of the things that I saw that irritated me about this knife, the owner did tell me were not Anthony's fault. They were done by the guy he bought it from. He did not buy either of the previous video, the Chadnell, or this knife directly from the maker. This is the Anthony Marfione Custom Matrix. Now, I know you guys know of the big Kershaw ZT Kai issue with the Matrix, the 777, and the what do you call it, the Matrix. I'm not even going to get into that. Basically, one says one was copying another one and all that stuff. This is an Anthony Marfione custom Matrix. Now, I have gotten to the point where I own 2 Marfione knives, 2, you know, Microtech knives, and I've handled a lot more, and there is an issue that glaring issue that I'm going to point out when we get into this, but this has the same issue. So what this is a full carbon fiber sub frame lock, and I guess they don't necessarily have a actual frame lock, sub frame lock. It's because, you know, Kershaw has the patent on the frame lock, or sub frame lock, I mean. But it is the same basic knife as the 777, not the 77. Yeah, it is the 077 or the 7007, I think. It's like the 7007 or the 0, I can't remember. At any rate, I've sharpened a few of them, but this is the first one of the Marfiones I've had. Now, it's a big knife. It's big. We will get this turned around in a second. But the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is why I'm going to be critical about this is because he paid $1,000 for this, which is about an average price for a Marfione custom. About $1,000. It's not an unheard of price, but I really don't think that the Marfione customs are worth what people are paying for them. So we'll get this turned around and we'll take a look at it up close, because there are some features of it that I'm going to talk about that are kind of cool, but then there's the rest. So let's get this turned around a look. So of course, just as I get ready to start this, I think I hear the garbage truck coming, so let's see. Hopefully he doesn't make too much noise. So here it is. This is a Marfione custom. This was made in 2015. Now, this, I thought that maybe Anthony had just kind of dialed in this cracked ice pattern. Apparently, this was done by someone else. So, hang on just a second. We'll let him get done. All right, guys. Garbage man left, and so I went while I was gone. I went and grabbed my knife that has the same issue, my DOC. We'll talk about that. Well, I just got it out there we'll set it on the side here, over there. So, here we go. Now, this is a full carbon fiber knife with sub-frame lock. Like I said, this was Marfione Custom, April 2015. It has this huge stinger thing on the back, the skull breaker, and it's not comfortable to carry. I had it in my pocket once, not comfortable to carry. If you're an older guy like me that's starting to get a little bit of a belly, you're not going to carry this. Not with this on there anyway. It's got a titanium backspacer. From what I can tell, it's titanium. I'm trying to find my magnet that was rolling around here. But from what I understand, from what I can tell, it is a titanium backspacer and titanium pocket clip. There it is. Yeah, titanium backspacer. Nah, I'm sorry, that is a steel pocket clip. Which you know, I'm not opposed to that. And then subframe lock. So let's see, is that a steel? Nope, that is titanium. So as opposed to mine, which is steel. We'll just set that there. So what you're getting is, like I said, full carbon fiber with this big blade. You do get a big blade. And I'm not going to say it's uncomfortable in hand. It is. It's not uncomfortable in hand. It is big, though. Size comparison. Hang on a second. Let's do a size comparison-wise, because this thing is huge. You guys know I own a lot of large knives. We'll do a size comparison. All right, we'll go Nick Shabazz style. So Nick, size comparison-wise, compared to a Sebenza, you're talking about a large knife. It is significantly larger than a large Sebenza. That's not even lining up pocket clip. If you, or that pin, I mean, you line that pin up with the base of it, you're looking at a good inch longer, and then just massive in breadth. So it's not a little knife. It was not something that is, I mean, let's put it this way. This is a big knife. This is a, Ferrum Forge is famous for making large knives, and it is significantly larger still than a Ferrum Forge Mako. So you're not talking about a small knife. You're getting a significantly large chunk of material. I will say, on the positive, not to just be completely negative about this, this has been milled and checkered on the inside here for that cross. It's really attractive. Typical of Marfione, their proprietary hardware, which I do understand the proprietary hardware, but it does make it hard for a guy like me when people ask to do spa treatments thing. I have the tools for these. I just don't have a tool for this. I would have to make one. The blade is, I don't have any of the markings. The knife comes in a very nice case, but I don't have any of the other information to tell you about the blade. But I would assume, probably knowing them, Elmax has a very, very generous fuller for lightning. It's a light knife for its size. It's very, very light. So we're talking about positive stuff here. Oops, did it again. And it's big enough. It's hard to get in frame. So I mean, it's huge. It's massive. But even for its size, it's not uncomfortable till you try to carry it. The blade shape, I don't dislike the blade shape as far as the fact I like the Kershaw version, like the 77 or whatever it is, like their version of it. This was one of the ones that was a big controversy. And I like subframe locks. But we're going to start and talk about some of the bad points of this knife. All of these edges are super, super, super sharp. Jimping is just basically not really there. Jimping on the flipper is, for a custom knife, once again, we're looking at a knife that's listed as a custom. It's inconsistent and uneven. Now, once again, we're talking about a knife you're paying $1,000 for. I don't like being able to see the detent track and ball. I don't have many knives that have. This is a $400 knife. Doesn't have that. There's a $450, $500 knife. I'm not seeing it. So, you know, there's that. Then we'll get into the bad, and we're going to have to talk about this from the reverse angle. So, I mean, we've seen the knife. I'm sure you guys have seen this. You guys know the controversy between these two companies. But all these really sharp edges, they're really bad. Like, everything that's been milled here, it's really sharp. It's very sharp. And it's kind of a showpiece knife. The carbon fiber, I do like the way they do their carbon fiber, I do have to say. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be fixed right there. But we'll turn this around and we're going to talk about the main point that really drives me nuts about everything I've seen coming out of Microtech and Marfione Custom as of late. So let's turn this around, and now we're really going to get on probably a bunch of people's nerves. So this knife, not really so many flaws to speak of. I mean, cosmetically, it's... Sorry about that. Let me straighten this out. Cosmetically, I mean, Marfione knives cosmetically are usually, there's not too many cosmetic flaws. That is one thing. This is a positive thing I have to say. Marfione knives, whether they be the customs or just their regular Microtech knives, cosmetically, they're usually spot on. They are usually gorgeous, gorgeous knives. Sometimes their aesthetic cues lead to discomfort. That, I'm not gonna lie, that sticking up out of your pocket, even if you're a skinny dude, which I no longer am. I'm an old fat dude now. Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. And I'm telling you right now, put it in your hip pocket, you're gonna tear the fuck out of your car seats. I put it in my hip pocket and I was like, maybe I'll carry it in my hip pocket. Nope. I was like, nope, nope, nope. I sat down in my car, I started to stand up, and I was like, I'm gonna punch a hole in my seat. And I very cautiously slid back, and I was like, I can't carry this thing. There's no way for me to carry it. This knife is smooth, but it's smooth in a different way. Listen to it. Hear that weirdness? There's another, this one has a weirdness too. These knives have huge bearings that they run on, as well as does my DOC. The problem that I'm about to point out, and now Peter, the guy that owns this knife, tried to tell me, and I have to say he might be right. This might be something that actually is happening, or it might be something that was just said to dissuade someone from complaining. He was told that they make a bunch of them with light detent and a bunch of them with heavy detent because they know there's people. Well, here's the thing. I've never gotten one with heavy detent. The only knife that had a detent that I liked so far from Microtech has been my buddy Matt's Annex. Every one of them. Now, I can't tell on this one, but I will tell you the issue with mine. Taking it apart, and we've looked at it. My detent ball starts to drop in, and you can hear it, but it doesn't drop all the way down into the detent hole, which leads to problems. I've actually had this come open in my pocket partway. If you know how sharp I keep my knives, if you've sent me a knife to sharpen, you know how sharp my knives are, because my knives are as sharp as yours are. Actually, no, your knives are probably sharper. This knife, I've had people say, oh, you shouldn't be, I can just, all day. That's not a thumb stud. That's the blade stop. I should not be able to do that. And this knife has been like that pretty much since I got it. It just does not have a detent. These knives don't have a detent. And at $1,000, that's a problem. This is a $400 Chinese knife. Hey, there's a magnet on there. It's a $400 Chinese made knife that you cannot even get. My fingers aren't on the lock bar, ladies and gentlemen. There it went. That's what it takes. That's how your detent should be. That's what keeps you safe. Don't even try with a Ferrum Forge. You're gonna drop your knife. I almost dropped this doing that. I was holding the pocket clip and it almost slipped. That's how hard. That was work. That's how hard you have to do it. That's not. Detent on these has been an issue with every Microtech I've handled for the last 2 years. And I don't know if it's just the way they do it, that's the way they want them. That's not how I would want my detent. So if you guys, if you guys are a fan of light detent, then by all means, ignore what I'm saying. But for me personally, if I'm paying $1,000 for a knife, I want it to be the way I want it. And if it's a custom, You can't say it's a custom if it's just the way Anthony wants it. Anthony needs to stop making them listed as a custom. That's not a custom. That's an Anthony's choice. That's what these should be called. Anthony's choice. Because Anthony decided to make it. That's not a custom. Custom, in my opinion, is I tell you what I want and you do it. Anything else is just adding flourishes on something you're already making, which we'll go to full round on this. I don't consider these custom knives because I can buy, well, I don't know about this one. There's a lot of times like the DOC, the Marfione Custom DOC, it's the same knife. It's just Anthony's taken it and done some more stuff to it. That's a customized, but that's not a custom in my opinion. What the Fair and Forge guys did with the Con, that Chadnell you saw in the last video, those are customs. You talked to the maker. You told them what you wanted. They provided. This is, Anthony made something, threw it out there, somebody bought it. I've never seen a request page where you can make decisions on how you want a Marfione custom. So in my opinion, they're not truly a custom. And at $1,000, there's too many things wrong with the action on this. That detent right there is a showstopper for me. And that is gorgeous as that is. Like I said, aesthetically, you cannot fault Microtech aesthetically. This knife, gorgeous. From the day I've bought it, I love this knife still. It has flaws, yes. The action is flawed. I've had this apart. Are we gonna be able to fix it? Yeah, I think that between me and Elliot at Fair and Forge, we can probably open that detent hole up a little bit and drop that ball, let the ball drop in properly so that it doesn't, just because mine, yeah, it's really, really weak. These are the things, these last two videos, are the things that irritate me with knife makers in the $1,000 category. Now, I handled all of the, I know you guys hate it. I know some of you guys are like, oh, he's a Fair and Forge fanboy. I handled every one of the Cons that has been made because I'm sharpening every one of them. Zero flaws, zero defects, $1,500 knives. Between $1,000 and $1,500 per knife. Zero flaws, zero defects. I'm telling you right now, those knives are immaculate. They're perfect. And I see the work that goes into them because I'm up there a lot. That's what's missing a lot of times, is that attention to detail. Letting that go and that doesn't sound right. So I even put a drop of oil on it, so I know it's just not a matter of lubrication. So you can put stuff in a pretty case and then inside a pretty box inside the case and give you all kinds of bells and whistles and stuff, but that doesn't, you know, giving you a little aluminum patch. If it's not perfect, I'd rather it just came in one of these. You know what I mean? All right, guys. I gotta get these videos edited and put up. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to get all this stuff done, clean up the house so I can go to Phoenix and then come back and rest Sunday afternoon. If you guys, I know there's a couple of you guys that sent me knives. Steven, you sent me a knife, and there was somebody else that sent me a knife. I am not going to be able to do the modifications on those knives until next week. I'm not going to be here this weekend. A couple of you guys, I'm sending stuff out. I appreciate everything, guys. The Patreons, you guys, I'm going to do a third video today that's just going to be a shout out. I'm going to call it out for all you guys that participate in the Patreon, which, by the way, the link is going to be backwards. It's going to be down here, probably. I think that's where it winds up being. So, all right, guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. With my wife and kid being gone, I get a lot of text messages and support and stuff like that. I've got customers that simply just have become like pen pals via text, and it's pretty awesome to have that. So it sucks when they're gone, and especially now business has been slow. It's picking up this week. It's picking up, and now I'm leaving, and so. But all right, guys, you guys take it easy. I will see you in the next video. I might do a third video about this, my newest acquisition. I didn't acquire it monetarily. There was a barter system done, but all right. This is a long video. I apologize, but there was a lot to talk about this one. Guys, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.